ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Bahamas Olympic Committee finally naming its team for the CAC Games, which start next week in Colombia. The 242 will compete in men's softball, men's basketball, swimming, sailing, judo, fencing, boxing, men's and women's tennis, and athletics. In total, there are some 60 athletes, complemented by 21 coaches and 3 team officials for a contingent of 84. Included on the athletics team will be national champion in the men's 400-meter hurdles, Andre Colebrook.
I expect him to go out there, make it through the heat, semis, finals, and run a personal best, and then close off my season.
3 days of competition finished up at the IAAF World Under-20 Track and Field Championships in Finland. Up first today was Branson Rull in the prelims in the men's 400 hurdles. He had a misstep, hitting a hurdle, and never regained his form, coming around 8th in his heat in 108.85, and he did not move on. Jada Knowles was scheduled to run the semifinals of the women's century, but just like Joel Johnson yesterday, she was unable to line up after sustaining a slight injury. As for our 2 high jumpers, both failed to reach the qualifying height of 7'1.5" or be in the top 12, so neither advancing to the final. Giles Edian had a best of 6'10.25", while Kyle Alcine cleared 6'8 3/4. While Team Bahamas began play today at the Rugby America's North Women's 10s tournament in Mexico City, they lost 48-0 in their opener to USA South. They followed that up with a 29-15 loss to Jamaica. The 242 will be back on the pitch tomorrow morning against the host. That's followed by the classification rounds tomorrow afternoon. Our men's national volleyball team was supposed to be named last night for the Caribbean Championships, but as Amajal Knowles tells us, they hit a bit of a snag.
We're several weeks away from the Caribbean Volleyball Championships in Suriname, and our men's national team is gearing up to compete. The only setback, however, being that the official roster has not been finalized, but head coach Lloyd Davis says that issue should be dealt with in a matter of days.
You have to push it back a couple more days due to some unfortunate circumstances, but it should be named by the end of the week.
As far as the practices are concerned, Coach Davis says the team has come around and the team's effort in practice has vastly improved.
Practices are going pretty well. The team is gelling as a unit and we're looking pretty good and hope that we can medal.
The head coach also making this plea to corporate Bahamas.
We really need funding. I have 12 young men. I have to take in the Suriname, with the tickets going to cost us at least $35,000 for us to get them.
Again, the CBC Championships take place in Suriname, August 5th to the 12th. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
From the NBA, the Las Vegas Summer League officially into tournament play at this hour. DeAndre Ayton and the undefeated Phoenix Suns up against the winless Philadelphia 76ers. This game currently in the 3rd quarter, time running down. DeAndre, a pretty quiet game so far, only 6 points and 5 rebounds in 19 minutes. The Suns trailing by 1 point, 61-60. Now earlier today, Dwight Colby, he didn't see any time on the court as the New Orleans Pelicans lost 110-106 to the Miami Heat. Back here at home, the Providence Basketball Association to its first week of its junior league at the AF Adderley Gym. Organizer Randy Cunningham says this initiative is a much-needed one.
We are making an effort to bring junior basketball back. We have 13, 14, 15, 16, and then we decided just recently in the last couple of days that we will do a 17 category because we have a lot of high school coaches who are working with their high school teams and they would like to play. And so on Saturday mornings we have mini basketball and we're inviting the public to bring all the primary school kids who are 12 and under to AFRD Gym, and we'll put them on a team to play mini basketball. We're going to go until the first week in August, and we'll have our championships and so forth then. Sometimes in the 4th week of this month we're going to do like a 3-on-3 tournament with the whole junior league and mini league, and we're going to do something big using AFRD Gym and the outside courts.
The Caribbean Sports Academy into the final week of its 3-in-1 summer camp at the S. McPherson Junior High School. Unlike the name states, this camp offers more than one sport for youngsters to get involved in.
All 3 of the sports that we're doing are all Olympic sports, and all 3 of the sports that we have are all collegiate sports. Our objective this summer was to give kids, to give them exposure to something beyond the normal things that they would see. Typically, in my case, I get to do basketball year-round. One of the things I've found is that a lot of kids are actually attracted to basketball, and the reality is basketball isn't for everybody. And so one of our missions that we decided on a year ago was to look at how we can give kids great access to other sports. And so two of the sports that we identified for this year are two sports in fencing and both wrestling, both which identify very closely with our natural innate gift that our kids have. It's just allowing them to use the things that they have naturally. You know, their athleticism, their quickness, their agility. And one of the things with the katana fencing program that we're doing here, we're able to pipe in the licenses for each of our training sessions, so they give us a complete plan on how to teach the sport of fencing. Anyone that knows me know that I'm a basketball guy first, but we spent the last 3 months getting certified, myself and the trainers, in both fencing and in wrestling. And so we're able to take kids from a beginner's level, introduce them to both of the sports, and give them the foundation in each of the sports so that they can develop with each of the sports.
Get your one switch, get one side, one side.
Beyonce Forbes is one of the campers taking part, and there is no doubt which sport she's most interested in.
Wrestling, I must say, was my favorite. I learned so much new things, like stance and just different things. I always thought that wrestling was just dangerous, but it gave me insight, and even if I don't pursue it, it's good to have self-defense.
Artie Johnson keeping the sport of tennis alive and relevant in Eleuthera, and for the next 2 weeks, it's all about the youngsters.
The camp started 19 years ago, but I've been doing clinics off and on for the past 25 years. The camp was supposed to start on the 9th, but I had some stuff to do. I had a project working in Freeport, so it'll be postponed until the 16th, but just next week, Monday. And I'm taking Philip Major Jr. He's going with me to for a week. You know, he's the Davis Cup champion, and we're going to do the camp every day. Then we're going to do clinics, Spanish Wells, Arbor Island, Williams Bight, and every day after the camp, we'll do like clinics in Palmetto Point.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.